Are they lazy? That's the question from the last episode, right? Are people lazy? How I would answer that is, I think people are scared, because I will say that they're scared knowing that they take advice from fans and sometimes even investors, and they place their creative roadmap in the hands of others who do not or may not understand how a trajectory for an artist goes, which means that you do certain things. You could do it once, you could do it twice, you could do it 5 times. But then it needs to elevate and go somewhere else, right? You need to grow as an artist, just like we grow into our bodies and become young people and get older and become old people and go further than that. That's how you as an artist, you need to develop. So what you were singing when you were 20 years old may be a little different from what you're singing when you're 50 years old, right? Because how much wine and jam you want to do? Are you doing that right through? Okay, well, great. If you could sell it, yeah. But I think people are scared. I think some artists and some bands are scared because they're so taken up with the advice from people and they don't want to get on people's bad side. And that's when I think you really lose your way. And by doing this now, I'll be honest, by doing this now, you no longer lead. You are just following the people that are looking to you and expecting you to lead them. And it makes the industry just kind of hold back like this. Right? You might see now again, some people kind of pop out a little bit and, you know, they're like a flare from the sun.
Right.
Right? So like a solar flare will just come out and go, so, and then they'll just kind of die off.
And then like 100 years later, then it comes back around.
Next 100 years, it goes, and then that's it. It just dies off.
Yeah.
You know, where you doing? Where you going? You don't need to be sun, right?
No.
You're not the sun.
Halley's Comet. You remember Halley's Comet?
Halley's Comet is going somewhere, right?
Every 90 years, you get Halley's Comet. Every 90 years, you get a release from the chutney industry that is original.
Oh gosh, say it ain't so. I mean, yeah, I think people are scared, and I could understand that, but at the same time, y'all need to understand why I got into this music business in the first place, because it is a business. So just like any business that stays in business for a long time, yeah, there are some people that do the same thing over and over and it just works for them, right? That's fine. But then there are some businesses that need to expand. So let's say like a hardware. A hardware starts selling bulbs and, you know, the most that they might do is sell some 2x4 and a couple other things where they can't stock a lot of things, a lot of larger items. But then now when you start making enough money and you get enough support, you're able to expand, you're able to buy the next lot of land next to you. Or maybe you're able to move into a larger compound or building, or maybe you could build your own building. Right? That is growth. So people will be excited to go about that. There was a very small electrical business in my neighborhood. Very, very popular because they had the best prices. They just moved into another building and it's bigger now. I was like, yeah, well, cool. Well, they have this stuff. So because you know that they have the best prices, you just keep with, but they have expanded where more people could go. They could fill out larger orders, that kind of thing. So things are progressing. So kind of in the same way as artists, I think we need to evolve and we need to grow. So if you consider yourself, and this is the difference, if you consider yourself a covers artist, that's fine. If you predominantly do covers, again, there's nothing wrong with the covers. The thing is that don't say that we have a chutney industry when all you do are covers. That's not chutney. It's not. It's barely an industry. It's a covers industry. So if that's what it is, well, then that's what it is, right? You can't just flip a ace of spades and say, no, that's queen of hearts. No, it ain't so. That's not what it is. So I think that we need to keep moving. And how this is done, I have an idea for this. You need to collaborate. You need to collaborate with someone like-minded or someone who you think is even better than you in some aspect, whether it is they dress better or they have a type of mindset that you want to try to emulate. Yeah, let's go with that. It could even be a soca artist. It could be action bar artist. It could be anything. But the thing is that it needs to just come out and show a different audience or show your same audience that, hey, this is something that we could do and we could be masters at it.
Yep.
And then from there, let other artists emulate it. Let other artists try to get involved with those same people that you are collaborating with and then make the thing even bigger. And very quickly, I just want to touch on collaborations. Sometimes some people may not want to or get to collaborate with others. This is a fact, right? Because you work with a certain group of people.
Right.
So if you have a camp of people, that's cool, right? But don't let it stunt your growth. Don't let it stop you from achieving something bigger for yourself and by extension, the industry, where everybody will grow, everybody will rise up. How about doing that? I'm not saying, all right, artist A or artist B is on your shoulders, you need to do a song with this one or do it like this so that everybody go follow. It's not like that, But the thing is that, some of you all need to do that. Right? Some people need to say, all right, well, check this out. But you also need to be free with it and say, hey, fellas, why don't you do this? Or talk to the younger artists that may either be in your camp or people that you know or familiar with, or you meet them in a show and say, right, check this out. You sound really good singing a song like this. And just by saying something like that, because you will be someone that they respect, they may more than likely try their hand at it. They could work with the same producer. They could work with a different one. They could work with somebody young and green and then let a more experienced producer help them out with the production or something like that. It could be anything. But the thing is that the people who are experienced, they need to lead. They need to say, all right, well, we're doing this and check this out. This is real cool. You like it? You vibe with it? And if it's a cool vibes and if it's something that is progressing in the right direction or in a generally better direction than just keeping it where it is, then you could know you need to take this step. That is what is really important. Some people feel as though others are unapproachable. You need to be the approachable one, or should reach out and say, hey, you could sound good doing a song like this. And just being that honest, even if that is Mamaguy. Right? Let's just say if you Mamaguy, that is positive Mamagism. Right? That is where you could take Mamaguy in a different direction and actually benefit the thing.
Well, the thing is,
you go ahead.
The thing is, you see, the camp, that whole camp situation, in the chutney industry, that has proven to be a big, big issue in terms of working with another artist, working with another producer, even sometimes working with another writer that is associated with a camp. It's not looked upon as growth and development and trying to expand your horizons. It's always you working with that one, but I am the one who made you, and I am the one who, we are this is the camp here that has you where you are, and you've had so much success under this camp, but now you want to work with the next camp, and it's like that across the board. Every particular camp would have their own issues with another camp. Some might have some, smaller issues. Some might have some really huge issues with another camp, and it has stunted growth to the point where you hardly see it happening. You hardly see that cross pollination kind of thing happening, and it's like that, and it hasn't changed for many, many years. It would really need to, we would really need to get some bigger people involved in terms of being the bigger person or people and saying, you know what, I am stepping out of these boundaries and I'm trying to better myself, whatever it takes. From a camp perspective, we really have some problems and some issues on the Chutney side. And from what you were just talking about in terms of, having people kind of like lead you in a direction, and you're scared that, you don't want to step out of bounds, that people may not like you and they may not like your music because of whatever reasons they have. I have heard from a couple of artists in particular, right? That not only do they believe in covers, and also we can throw the Bolini in there, which is of course for those that don't know, taking the Bollywood melodies and singing Chutney lyrics and putting some Chutney instruments over it. In the Bolini especially, I've heard some artists say that it is easier to sing a Bolini, right? Then it is, sorry, my bad. It is easier to sing an original song and create your original song from scratch. It's easier to do. It's kind of like Sakai for them. This is what they have said.
For who?
For the artists who are doing it, but it is harder to take a song that has been created already and putting your own spin on it and putting your own lyrics on it and making it a Bolini. That is harder than creating an original song from scratch. This is what some artists say.
Well, boy, you've started my growth for sure. I'm not great anymore after this. If people thinking like that, well, I don't know what to say, but coming off at the point where, there are less opportunities for people because of not being able to move out of a camp situation or do things out of the camp. I think that's also because of entitlement.
Mhm.
If that's what's happening, it could be an entitlement issue. Entitlement from the perspective that whatever comes or what benefits come from this artist A, you should be able to reap from that.
Mhm.
And that is a feeling of entitlement, as though whatever happened with artists A and B under your cap, you're supposed to benefit from that. When really and truly, if all the camps, let's say if you have 10 camps in the industry or 20, how much ever.
Mhm. Mhm.
If all the camps, let's say half of those camps, if they start raising the bar like this, right? The other 10 going to try to naturally come up there. Because if you look at a ant's nest, the ant's nest though usually or traditionally just be like this or be like this. It's be like this,
Yeah.
right? Where everybody just trying to put that extra grain of sand or dirt or whatever it is from the soil higher up, higher, right? Everybody trying to reach up there and get up there to provide covering for your home, right?
Mhm.
So I think that, people are scared and they also feel as though they're entitled to reap the benefits in the short term for whatever benefits you experience in that short term. Whereas if you even go from short term to medium term, I'm speaking like within a year, 2 years, right? Not even long, right? Like between a year, 2 years, you could actually, let's say if you create 5 songs and that's you alone. Let's say if you get everybody in your camp to create 3 to 5 songs, let's just say, right? And then all the different camps or half of the camps do all of that now. People will naturally just see, hey, that's a nice little groove there. And you know what? Your lovely, wonderful, diehard fans are going to think? Hey, they're going to think one of two things. Either, what are they trying to do? Me and like that, what are they doing? Right? Is either they say that or they say, oh, cool. I didn't know this man or this girl could sing so. This real
You
sick,
just
this bad.
you just ugu the bass from your voice. And the bass just cut from your voice. It was such a ugu.
Yeah, we cutting out the bass. We cutting out the bass. Let me see if I can bring back the bass. So that's what it is. So if we all as a group, as a movement, as I like to say, if we as a movement just do what we can, right? I'm not saying to create the next Billboard topper, right? I'm just saying let's do what we can, right? Just do your best. And then if other people just follow suit now, when people realize that there's a movement to that, they will take notice first of all, because you will have fans. Everybody has fans, right? Whether it's 100 or what. Everyone has their own fans. But when people see a movement coming out, and they realize that the movement is predominantly good, people will roll with that. So you
Yeah.
no longer have to rely on the, as you think it is, the tried and tested thing of doing the covers. It works, but everything is just staying right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know? So if we want to have big opportunities, if you want to perform in different places, in different countries, if you want to perform in larger venues, because people love you so much, right? Where are the new venues?
Mhm.
How many people consider they perform in new venues? It coming, but I'm only seeing it for certain people. And it's not even that big anyway. So yeah, you could make the breakthroughs, just like soca artists have to do. Soca artists have to break through in places all the time.
Yeah.
Don't think that they reach anywhere yet. I mean, we reach places, but I mean, still, sometimes we have to do things to try and make it too. But at the same time, it has to be something that you could sell, that you could repeat, and that you could improve. So once you could do those things, you're an artist in the real sense. You're not just a cover person. You are an artist where an artist is a creative visionary.
Right.
An artist is a person like somebody who's painting. You think they turn around and say, hey, what color you feel I should use again? Blue? Right, okay,
No.
let me put some blue
Nope.
here. Right? And they can say, no, but I was drawing a fire, how I could draw blue fire now.
Yeah.
That was in my head. So as a creative person, you think about it, as an artist, let's say an artist,
Mhm.
right? The artist is the musical
A
artist,
painter.
but artist as in a painter, right?
Yeah.
You try to paint some flames, like you have an idea to paint some flames and say, hey, what color? Blue flames? Right. Then it could be like, if I paint blue flames, what could I put on top of this? A pot?
What?
What was this? A fire from a stove out drawing it?
We're making some
So-
tea.
Yeah, so then you are letting people influence you and creating a direction for you when it really is not supposed to be like that. Yeah, okay, if you're a cover artist or you're an artist that also does covers, yeah, covers is one thing. But please have a direction.
Now the thing is, you know what's the big question here after what you
What's
just said? And
Mhm.
and rightfully so, it's about getting to venues, bigger venues, getting to places that you haven't been before, doing things that would improve your status as a artist or a band, and making you more recognized. You know what the question is? The question is, do these artists even think that way? Are they thinking that way? Do they even know that that is progression, that is expansion, that is development? I think a lot.
Well, they do know because of this podcast. They do know.
Right. But prior to this,
That's why we're doing this.
prior to this though, I mean, I feel a lot of the artists, again, the majority of them were just happy in this space, happy just recreating melodies and songs, and even it's not only Bollywood. I mean, you know, a lot of the chutney bands like to do cover versions of every genre on the face of the earth. Once it's a popular song, you know, they're doing it, right? Whether it is Afrobeat or Afro house or reggaeton or, you know, whatever it is. If it's a big tune, that is going to be in that set because they feel that people want to hear that tune, so we're going to put that in our set, right? And you find
There's no problem with that. That's no problem, just by the way.
Right.
That's okay.
Right. No, but what I mean is like the whole
Yeah.
set, the whole set is covers. You know what I mean? Like again, 90-something% of your set is covers. I remember like when you told me once, you know, or a couple of times you told me when you're going out there as a band, you must lead with your big tune and try and end off with a big tune, something like that you were saying. You know, lead, go on stage, hit the stage with your big tune, which is your original big tune.
Yours. Yes,
Yeah, yours, right? To lead with that and try to come off as well with a large tune that is yours. Now, the thing is that almost never happens. Almost it like again 90-something% of the time, leading with covers, coming off with covers, maybe one original tune in the middle there, and that is it. And that's again, do they even have that perspective of understanding that your music is your music, and that's what people will identify you for and with for years to come. You know what I mean? You could go on, if you have a big tune now, 10 years down the road, if it's that big a tune, it's yours. It's your song that people, whichever market you go to, will identify and say, "Ooh, there's a X tune or a Y tune or a Z tune or whatever like that." But again, I mean, the podcast now would kind of push them in that direction. But prior to that, I don't think they were thinking that way.
But then the thing is that it's the culture of our Chutney band or Chutney performers to do these covers, which is fine because it's its own thing.
Mhm.
And that's cool. That's fine because I'm very impressed knowing that these artists could do several different genres of music.
Right.
Some of them honestly don't sound that great, but I applaud you for trying, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, if people still dancing, that means you're doing something good,
Right.
Then I will just be a tough person in the crowd to please. That's okay. You'll always have those, right?
Mhm.
But then now, lead off with your big tune. Let people get excited about it. Create a nice intro for it. Have a nice beat. The rhythm, the music had to be impactful and stuff. Whether it is a slower song, a faster song, start with your song and prove to people that you are passionate about it. And when people see that, they will gravitate towards your energy because
No.
of the ferocity
Mhm.
that you have approached the performance with.
Now, let me give you an example of something crazy, weird, and yet kind of dotish in a sense that used to happen in the past. There were some big shows in the past, in not too distant past, that one in particular where they had multiple bands performing on stage, right? From the chutney industry. And year after year, the repertoire, the set on stage from each band hitting the stage, one after the other, you would get 75, 80% of the same repertoire, the same set, same songs. Now, how you think a crowd, after the first 2 or 3 bands, right, hearing the same songs, because they're popular at the time,
Right.
2 hours later, another band hit, same songs. The band after that, same songs. The only change might be maybe 20 to 25%. But basically, the majority of songs is the same.
So let's just say if band one goes and covers Shake It to the Max,
Yeah,
right? Then
same
band
thing.
two comes,
Same
Shake
thing.
It to the Max again, we shake it again.
Bet your bottom dunya dollar that is happening. Bet all your money it's happening. You understand?
Right? So that even if I don't have band three, let's say performer three now
Yeah.
comes in, Shake It to the Max. So,
telling you, that is where you know it bad, in real bad.
okay, if you're an artist or a band member or something and you're looking at this, thank you very much for tuning in, right? But you all need to know these things, right? You all need to know that there's a whole crowd of people out there looking at this and listening to you while you perform, but they've also listened to the people before you.
Mhm.
Or if you're band A or artist A, and all of the people afterwards do the same thing, maybe we should try and, do something a little different
Mhm.
and change it up a little bit. At least understand who are the other people and who are the other performers and entertainers in your industry and try and understand what their mindset would be. So if you know everybody gonna sing Shake It to the Max, or if you know the battles coming before you has a female singer, and that's something apart that a female has to sing anyway, and you feel as though they're gonna sing Shake It to the Max, well then probably you should try and go with something else. If
Yeah.
you want to cover something, probably you should try and do something. Let us get ready to wrap up.
Right.
With the wrap up now, Big Daddy, I will leave it in your hands to try to give us some of the things that we could probably do better, or we could share with people that they could do better. And I will probably share my things afterwards.
Well, in terms of the feedback, I mean, the main overriding topic, the feedback itself, be honest, right? From my perspective, be very, very honest. You look at the other industries and you see somebody who really loves a particular artist or band. They're not going to love everything that the band and artist does, and they would actually come and give feedback, right? They might be in front of the stage and they might dance and get on or whatever, but you might see some comments online, or you might see an interview and they might tell the artist, well, I'm not really feeling that tune, or I'm not really feeling that, as opposed to that. I really like that. And they're honest as possible, as they could get, without hurting the feelings of the artist, right?
Right.
But on the chutney side, we're not honest. We really, again, that word Mamaguy comes in too often, where we tell the artists what we feel that they want to hear, and anything they do is acceptable because you don't want to hurt their feelings or whatever else is going through your head. So honestly, for sure, hold them to a particular standard that if you like music, other genres of music, and you hold those artists to a particular standard, I think you would want to do the same for the Chutney artists. Hold them to a higher level, a higher standard at all times. Make sure that that you are at all times as well trying your best to maybe, I don't want to say suggest per se, because again we would go down that road, but like, if you have like people out there who feel that they're close to the artist, so even those are not close, you might have certain things that you want to tell the artist that could give them some ideas. I mean, I don't know how you would do it directly, but I've seen it in other industries that, people say certain things and do certain things with artists, and then all of a sudden you find an artist does a song that reflects what a certain group likes or is liking at that point in time, but is original, something original. Maybe you could give feedback in that way as well. I don't know how you want to term that. And yeah, I mean, just basically, again, just be as real as possible. Don't just go down the road where you're constantly Mamaguy these artists, because there's no growth there, there's no development. Everything will be the same year after year. The industry is going to be affected negatively. You may love your artists and just love everything that's happening, or telling them that you love everything that's happening, but the industry is not growing. It's actually going in reverse. It's not happening right now. At least this is my perspective.
Right. Well, from my end, 3 things. 1, I'll start off with the Facebook business, right?
Mhm.
An artist will post something, music or whatever. A lot of the times it's not even music, right? But especially with music, you have these quick reactions. 100 is how many people
Oh,
pointing, so
God.
like 100 and bravo, you got this or this kind of thing. That's cool, we appreciate that. But we need a little more than that. Like if you actually type something down, people will more than likely take that into consideration than because other people, everybody knows that this thing is auto-generated, right? You didn't go and make that and put that there, right? That was just there for you to just click and go, proops, right? Post, response, right? That's supporting the artist, right? Yeah. No. that's one stage, right? That's just saying, oh, look, let me see what happening over this hill here, right? Okay. And then you just go back in your hole. What you could do is post meaningful comments on your artists
Right.
or other entertainers. Just make it meaningful, especially where artists are commenting on other artists' work, or other DJs are commenting on work, or you commenting on a DJ's piece of work. The thing is that you could naturally, depending on what you say, you could form an alliance with those people. You could get familiar with them. Next thing, when you go to an event, you get to meet them and you realize you all have a vibe and you become friends or something like that. That's where collaboration starts, on familiarity and the urge and the willingness to want to share the same space with you. So that's one thing. The next thing is the music. If we are so great at reproducing these Bollywood songs, we could change them up a little bit. Figure out let's say if a Bollywood song has 4 basic chords, try and change it up a little bit. I could actually do an episode where I'll show you how to do all of
The
that.
next
If you
episode.
want to see that, if you want to see that, let us know and we will do that for you. Right? The final thing is that, as you said, we need to be honest. We need to show people that what you come out with is either good or not so good. But at the same time, you could check this out, right? Like just what I did with you, Big Daddy, a couple days ago. I sent you a couple songs. Right? That you may or may not have been familiar with. Right? And you now getting these songs, which could be from whoever.
Right.
You will say, all right, well, let me check this out. It could be either because of our familiarity or just because you are interested in that set of music, right?
Right.
So I sent you Bollywood music. I also sent you a song from a Bollywood artist that did a song. I will not say it's a crossover song, but a Bollywood artist sang a song with another person,
Right.
and it was not a Bollywood song.
Right.
Right? I sent that to you as well. I also did a remix of it, which I'll put out there sometime soon. But this is where I share things with you. So instead, if you're scared to give feedback on someone's song, you could actually send them music that you like or that you are interested in, or that you believe that artists can do or use elements of it, not just do it over. No, not to say, right, hey, you should do this song, No, not that. You could now flip it a little bit and go the extra step and say, you could actually do a song like this. Not you could do this song. No, not that. I'm not trying to do that at all. Not do this song. You can do a song inspired by this. So that's my thing. So be
No.
honest, yes. But if you realize that you don't want to give them feedback on something because they either did something that you didn't like or they came out with music that you did not like, well, you don't need to give them feedback on it if you're not comfortable with it, but just send them music. It could be one song. You could say, right, well, check this out. Tell me what you think. You have with the voice that you have, you could probably nail a song like this or this style, not that song, not you over the song.
Yeah. Now, to be honest with what you just said again, years ago, remember when Bhangra music was becoming somewhat popular in Trinidad, and we at the radio station that we were on at that point in time, we were playing more than probably everybody else. I'm trying to inculcate this into the mindset and the whole system of people in terms of, okay, there's more than Bollywood, right? If you want to learn more about India, there's this and there's that, and there's Gujarati music and there's Marathi music and everything. But the Bhangra was very popular even back then. When some of us, from my perspective, I gave a couple of songs to artists, and I said, this is a kind of music that you all should try to be doing, and you could take pattern from these songs and listen to these songs. Same thing you were saying. Yes, from that point and now, nobody really even try. Maybe there was one attempt, one or two attempts, but nobody really tried to go into it in any big way to try and have a different sound to their songs, to add in those elements. So again, we really hope that people start to listen, the bands and the artists start to listen. But at this point in time, it's very much centered on that Bollywood.
And I know that you would be on point. I mean, working on radio, you would know what is coming in to the station. But at the same time, again, guys, girls, you all could do this.
Yep.
It's out of your reach. Don't be scared. You all are artists. You all are supposed to be charting the way forward. You all are supposed to be saying. You are supposed to show us what is cool. We're not supposed to tell you what cool. Honestly. That's what it is. We're not supposed to tell you what cool. You're supposed to tell us or show us what cool.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. How about that? Be cool. And you'll get some very cool responses. And you'll actually get opportunities that you did not think were there before. Or they just weren't there before, but because of your change or advancement or whatever you do, because of that, opportunities will just start to come out of nowhere. And you'll be like, hey, well, I should have done this donkey years now. So think about it. I think we could.
Yep, definitely.
So that's about it for our 3-part episode. Exactly what your thoughts.
My thoughts are that we definitely are progressing in terms of getting what is really supposed to be said in the industry and what people should hear and what people should know, the hard-hitting topics that people may not have heard before. They're hearing it on this podcast, on the Curry Stew, the Chutney podcast. And I'm glad that we are doing it our way, how we're supposed to do it, and not trying to hold back or try to please anybody. This podcast is going to hopefully make some meaningful change in the industry. So I'm very happy.
That's what we're hoping for. So thank you very much for viewing. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Tell your parents. Tell your children.
Tell everybody.
Yes, we try to make some positive changes and, bring things to the fore and help out with that so that we could actually make the thing grow grow little bits, and then you all just take it from there, right? We're just here to let you know what's going on.
Right.
And some suggestions. You all could share some with us as well. Feel free to leave it in the comments whenever we post this on YouTube and on Facebook and IG and TikTok, wherever you see it. You could put a little comment there as well. We'll be sure to read it and check it out. Right? So
Yep.
thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thanks, something. Thank you very much.
Something, eh?
Bye-bye.
All right, something,
See you later.
Yeah. I'm gonna draw this. I'm gonna finish draw this fire. What color? What color you set up with again? A green fire?
No,
All right.
brown.
Oh, is that environmentally friendly fire? Let me paint the thing. Eh? That's what the people tell me to do.
Oh, God.